Harrison with you. This is Go Harrison, seen and heard all over the place, whether it's on FM radio or video streaming. We're here for you. Today, in just a moment, we're going to talk about motivation. How to get off your large curd cottage cheese fanny and get into not only good shape, feel good, but be a powerhouse in your business and your personal life. How can that be done? Stand by. I want to invite you on a one-time only special trip to be one of the first people to sail to Cuba in 50 years. With interior cabins for a week-long, 5-star luxury cruise ship voyage around the entire island of Cuba with multiple port calls starting at only $16.98. Be among the first in 50 years to see Cuba while it's still the Cuba that people talk about. Harrison with you. By the way, Cuba, last shot at it. It is an unbelievable price for one-time only adventure. We are going to Cuba, 4 days on shore. Unheard of before. It's being underwritten by the embassy and by a travel company, not to mention 3 points around the island. So call that 800 number and get in on it right now because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Speaking of opportunity, I am sitting next to the great Shaka Smith. You know him from his very popular workout series, his DVDs, his videos. He's been covered in all kinds of fitness magazines, really forever. You came to LA just a few years ago as an attorney, but you happen to have this casing that is so exquisite that everybody photographs it 24/7, even when you're asleep. There's probably that going on too. And you have become Mr. Motivation because, well, it takes a little discipline, by the way, to pull this stuff off. But it's achievable, isn't it?
Thank you, yeah.
So here you are. You're really the guy who understands how to get people to do the thing that's good for them.
Yeah.
And is this part of the attorney inside of you, or is this something else?
I think it's a little bit of something else. I think it comes from my own upbringing and having people motivate me in my life, and I think everyone needs a push, throughout life in general. So I try to give people a little help when I see they need it.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Miami.
Really?
Yeah.
I grew up in Naples, Florida,
Oh, yeah.
exactly across on the West Coast. Nobody has any idea what we're talking about, but we get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, we can canoe and do things which actually put you in shape.
Yeah.
If you're out in the Miccosukee Indians, the airboat rides, that's something entirely different. But it's really great to get into good physical shape because we know scientifically now that it's not just cosmetic, which a lot of people in America do it for the cosmetics because you can get laid. But there's a real physical health benefit.
Yes, and I think for me, I saw that growing up were people throwing everything out the window once the health went.
Yeah.
No matter how accomplished somebody was or how much money they had, the minute their health was going, now they were willing to put everything on the line and make sure they got better. And so I said to myself, I don't want to be in a position personally where I'm waiting for the cancer diagnosis until I decide to change. So if I start now, then I won't have those problems later.
We're talking to Shaka Smith. You know him from his endless workout videos, covers of all kinds of fitness magazines, known for his abs. Yep, and his brain. At least that's the part that I happen to like. But shamelessly, maybe you could pull up your shirt so that we're not just talking about the notion of your abs. Maybe we see them. Go ahead, stand up a little bit and give us. Look at that. Look at that. It's a miracle. We actually have a piece of video here that you did. It's a commercial piece of video, but it shows you in action, sort of in your daily life.
Hey, it's Shaka Smith. Today I'm training with Iron Man at Dave Fisher's Powerhouse Gym. Everyone always asks me, what do I do for my abs? I train them every day. I stay really consistent. Of course, the biggest thing is watching your diet, making sure you eat right and eat well. For abs, I just try to vary up my training. I do a lot of hanging knee raises. That really helps. I just go with a lot of reps, a lot of low weight to get them really deep and really cut. If you really work on them, really hit it hard in the gym every day, your abs will definitely pay off for you. So hit it hard. This is Shaka Smith. You've been watching IronManMagazine.com.
Harrison with you. I just showed Shaka my abs during that video, and he was pretty wowed. So I don't want to overwhelm everybody in the room, nor Marvin, our producer here, just out of good taste, and to never take the focus away from your guest.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So, I mean, I'm not even going to ask how do you do it, because your routine is widely available for everyone else. But I kind of want to get into the motivation part. People, the notion going to the gym, what a great idea. Yeah. Netflix, HBO, yeah, I hear it calling. Ooh, a tub of ice cream. It's calling to me. It really is. I mean, how do you continue day after day to show up for something that's meaningful?
Well, I think first of all you have to have an underlying understanding that it is for your health, and that what you directly do will translate to your health, not just now but in the long term. So knowing that's off the bat. But then it's about creating key habits. And for me, it was about getting to the gym every day. It didn't matter about the workout. So I didn't get in my head about how hard I was going to work out or how long or what exactly I would do. I was like, just get there and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah. And
some days it ended up being great 2-3 hour workout. And other days it was a 15-minute jog and I went home. But it was about getting into the habit of going to the gym or doing that one thing every day.
Shaka Smith, that is probably the single greatest secret ever revealed about fitness. Is just go to the gym, even if you just sit in the steam room.
Exactly. I've had those days where I've just sat in the steam room 30 minutes and I left. But it was about getting that habit. So the next day I wanted to go to the gym. I was in that mode.
I'm a huge fan of science, so I'm going to explain why that really actually does work.
Yeah.
We all think that we can think our way into better behavior, but at the end of the day, we're very Pavlovian.
Yeah.
We are spaniels. We are. The bell rings, we salivate, we eat the meat.
Yeah.
Or the kibble, whatever the case may be. And so when it's called rehearsing behavior. That's how we get habits, good and bad ones. You do it over and over again, and the brain literally starts to hardwire itself into that behavior. So by doing repeat visits to the gym, pretty soon it's like taking a shower.
Exactly.
It's like, guess I ought to take a shower.
Yeah, and then some days you're going to feel motivated once you're there to do more work, and other days you may not, but you're in that habit so you don't miss those days.
Now, until what age, because we have listeners and viewers here on Go Harrison all over the place of different age ranges, at your age, whatever that may be, having those exquisite abs is, it's more likely. Somebody hits 50, is it still doable?
Yeah, no, that's what I love about social media today, because I'm seeing people that are older that are having these amazing bodies, and people that never stopped working out, people that picked it up just recently and are just diet-wise going hard. And so I think you have to work harder as you get older, which I have already experienced myself. I remember when I was in college, I could work out in the morning, and by the evening, I looked great. And now it takes a couple of days. But so you do have to work harder and refine your routine.
So you go through periods of not looking great? I wonder what that looks like.
Yes, and I'm quite hard on myself, and so those really mentally can get to you. And that's the other side of the coin, is not falling into sort of body dysmorphia and not realizing that you are getting better. So
let's explain body dysmorphia. Yeah. Now, you're an expert at that. So it's the idea of body dysmorphia, that. Well, that's when you have a vision of what you look like different from what you actually look like. An example, women who might have been, more women than men we find so far, that might have been very, very heavy at one time, lose a ton of weight, they get to be skinny, but in their head, they're really fat.
Yeah.
And so when they go through a door, they kind of go right through the middle, even though they're really skinny, in their head, rehearsed behavior.
Yeah.
All those years of being big, even though they're not, they still think they are.
Yeah.
Body dysmorphia.
Yeah, and I have it as well. So for some reason, when I think of myself without looking in the mirror, I just see myself as a kid. Like, I see myself as skinny as I was when I was a kid. And I'll look at a picture and go, wait a minute, I don't look like that at all whatsoever. And so for me, taking pictures is really an important part of your fitness journey.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't take daily pictures because maybe they don't want to see it or whatever, but it's actually the best thing you can do to watch your progress.
Wow. And I love the notion of that you do have to work harder as you get older, but you don't have to be necessarily that when you're 60.
Yeah, no, of course.
But the metabolism slows down on its own. What is it, like every year it goes down a percent or
Yeah,
two.
like after 30 or 35,
Yeah.
it starts to really go down. But you can still be in shape because we know that belly fat is linked to a high percentage of belly fat is linked to a lot of like heart disease and arterial blockages. And so you want to make sure that you keep that low, and you can keep that low at any age.
So when you're, in other words, that happy roll, the love handles,
Yeah.
there is a direct link to heart disease and such. So if you're seeing that going on, then you know that's a litmus test towards something bad to come. So just getting rid of that alone is a real win, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't need to have six-pack abs, but just
Can we see yours again? No, seriously.
not too bad. Hopefully.
I like that. Not too bad. It's kind of a D plus.
That dysmorphia, it's still in my head. But yeah, so I think it's just important because at any age you can be fit and healthy.
Yeah. So what's a good place to follow you around?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the whole deal at Shaka Strong. My website, shakasmith.com, and we're developing some more fitness stuff to go along with that.
Good. Well, we should do some stuff together down the road because I like the notion of just that genius moment of just get in the habit of going to the gym. Even if you don't do anything, if that's a natural place to hang out, it's like they say, if you hang out in a barber shop, sooner or later, you're going to get a haircut.
Yeah, and then you're going to be around people that are of a like mind, and we already know that your friends influence your behavior. So if you're around people that go to the gym every day, you're going to start going to the gym every day, or eating better, or other things in your life that help your fitness goals.
All right.
So.
Well, I want to thank you so much, and you're also an attorney. I just love that. I just love it.
Yeah, I try to do a lot of things.
Harrison with you. This is Shaka Smith. You can follow us anytime at goharrison.com. Also see archives of this and every other broadcast. Follow us on Facebook, keyword Go Harrison, Twitter at Go Harrison. We'll see you again shortly.
Bye, guys.
From Hollywood, this is Harrison.
Harrison with you. This is Go Harrison. Seen and heard all over the place, whether it's on FM radio or video streaming. We're here for you. Today, in just a moment, we're going to talk about motivation. How to get off your large curd cottage cheese fanny and get into not only good shape, feel good, but be a powerhouse in your business and your personal life. How can that be done? Stand by.
I want to invite you on a one-time only special trip to be one of the first people to sail to Cuba in 50 years. With interior cabins for a week-long 5-star luxury cruise ship voyage around the entire island of Cuba with multiple port calls starting at only $16.98. Be among the first in 50 years to see Cuba while it's still the Cuba that people talk about.
Harrison with you. By the way, Cuba, last shot at it. It is an unbelievable price for one-time only adventure. We are going to Cuba, 4 days on shore. Unheard of before. It's being underwritten by the embassy and by a travel company, not to mention 3 points around the island. So call that 800 number and get in on it right now because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Speaking of opportunity, I am sitting next to the great Shaka Smith. You know him from his very popular workout series, his DVDs, his videos. He's been covered in all kinds of fitness magazines, really forever. You came to LA just a few years ago as an attorney, but you happen to have this casing that is so exquisite that everybody photographs it 24/7, even when you're asleep. There's probably that going on too. And you have become Mr. Motivation because, well, it takes a little discipline, by the way, to pull this stuff off. But it's achievable, isn't it?
Thank you. Yeah.
So here you are. You're really